Man, Tyson, these books are really getting heavy.
I know. Let's read and work out at the same time.
No, I think we should take a break because...
Education Today starts now.
Good job.
Welcome to Education Today. I'm John Zish from Armstrong School District. As you may know, Armstrong County has an energetic and motivated group of organizations who are working hard to fight childhood obesity. That group is called Healthy Armstrong, which stands for Healthy Eating and Active Lifestyles, Together Helping Youth. Healthy Armstrong recently held a blockbuster public event on Saturday, September 12, 2009, and we'll talk about that and other wellness topics tonight with some very special guests. With us tonight, we have Kay Owen and Devin Lorgan. Welcome to Education Today.
Thank you.
Would you please briefly introduce yourselves and your roles with Healthy Armstrong?
Yes, I'm Devin Lorgan, and I'm the Health and Wellness Coordinator for the Armstrong School District.
And my name is Kay Owen, and I'm the Project Director for Healthy Armstrong.
Very good. Thanks for being with us. And what is the basic mission and purpose of Healthy Armstrong? And why is it a crucial organization for the time in which we live?
Well, the basic mission is to help families to be more healthy and to improve people's knowledge about nutrition and to increase their physical activity. And why that's important at this time is the world has changed and people spend more time doing sedentary activities, a lot of screen time, portions of food have increased over the years, and it has led to a obesity problem with our youth. So we're trying to reverse those trends in our community.
Well, thank you for that important work. Now this question is for both of you. In your own words and from your own perspectives, would you please explain and give an overview of Healthy Armstrong and its major steps forward from its creation a few years ago all the way up to today? What were the major milestones that have happened that led to today of being Healthy Armstrong, what it is?
Devin, do you want to take that one?
Okay, well, I think it started very small. It started with just a few community members, and the members have increased. We've gathered people from all different parts of the community, and a lot more members from the school district, and we have facilitators in the buildings that are getting the kids moving from each building in the evenings and during the school day. We just have a lot more activity. We have a lot more programs going on in the public, like our food displays in the grocery stores. So it's really come a long way in just a few years, and we hope to take it even further.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it started in, Healthy Armstrong started in 2005, and I think one of the local pediatricians noticed that the kids were heavier, and he was concerned about their health, and he approached I believe it was the hospital at that time, and then the pediatrician group and got a pilot program going at Elderton Elementary, and it looked promising as to the results, and so it spread now to all of Armstrong School District.
Indeed. Well, what is the proposed federal legislation? Because I understand that Armstrong County and this Healthy Armstrong is like a national model or something like that. Can you talk about how we're a model for the nation?
Yes. Representative Kathy Dahlkemper, who is, her main office is out of Erie, but she represents part of Armstrong County, came down to the county in, I believe it was March 2009, and had a tour of the county, and part of her tour was learning about Healthy Armstrong. And she is a dietitian by background, and so she was very excited to hear what we were doing and thought that the fact that we had so many different partners in the community, was a real plus. And so she drafted federal legislation called the Healthy Communities Act. And Healthy Armstrong is the model for how other communities across the nation should organize to combat childhood obesity. We are incredibly proud of that.
That is
incredibly
amazing.
Proud, yes.
Has this bill passed, or is it up for a vote anytime soon? Or do you know
The last
status
that
of it?
I knew, they were obtaining additional sponsors for the bill.
Oh, good.
And she's hoping to incorporate that into the whole issue of the healthcare reform.
Sounds logical.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned something I've heard you say in the past when we're off camera, because we talk a lot.
Right.
Something called outcomes increase activity. What is that?
Well,
And how does that tie into fresh food and fresh vegetable
okay.
consumption?
Well, one of our major partners for Healthy Armstrong is UPMC Health Plan. And from the very beginning, Healthy Armstrong had an strong evaluation component, or looking at outcomes. So in other words, are all the things that we're doing, are we making a difference? So there are a number of things that we're measuring. We're measuring BMIs, which is
Body mass index.
body mass index, and we also we're measuring the amount of activity that kids do, and we call those kid minutes. And from 2005 to the current year, you can see, a steady increase in the number of minutes that kids are exercising in school and after school. This is in the Armstrong School District.
That's excellent.
And also, we're measuring the fruit and vegetable consumption over the years, and that also is showing a steady increase. So to us, those are good indicators that we're on the right path, that we're, headed in the right direction.
Charting progress.
Right, charting
see.
progress.
That's good. Well, of course, we want to highlight some of the things that the schools are doing. Maybe, Devin, I could ask you this question. What are some of the events regarding wellness that are going on in all the Armstrong School District school buildings?
Well, we have, first we adopted April as Wellness Month. So in April we do a lot of like healthy food weeks, where you'll have different events on Monday through Friday, where you'll participate in different wellness activities. And the schools have after-school wellness programs. Some of them include the parents, some of them include just students, but they get the kids moving. They do some nutrition education while they're there, and they just have fun. They're teaching the kids that exercise and eating nutritiously can be fun.
Good way to burn calories. And
That's right. That's right.
Healthy recipes. And
Yes,
things like
lots
that.
of healthy recipes. And I know in the elementary schools we start every day with morning exercises. So right after the announcements, the wellness facilitator or the health and phys ed teacher gets on the announcements, and they get their brains and bodies ready for the day by marching in place. They put music on, hop up and down, get those hearts pumping, just to start their day right.
Probably helps academically too,
It
because then
does.
the kids get a little energy out. And
It does.
very nice.
Yeah, that is one of the things we should emphasize, is that there's a lot of research now that shows that the more active kids are, that the better academically they do as well. So Armstrong School District is really right up there, with promoting Healthy Armstrong.
Well, it's thanks to you too as well for making it such a great initiative here in the county. Now, we talked a little bit about Saturday, September 12th. That was the Healthy Lifestyle Extravaganza you organized at Lenape Technical School. What was that event, and can we see some pictures?
Oh, absolutely. It was a fun event. We had all of the students in the district and the county, and no matter what age you were, we had older people there, we had young people there, we had people that could just walk there, and we had all the families. It was a place where you could go and engage in different types of activities. And the main purpose was to show you different types of things that are already going on in your community that you could take part in outside of events that we have. The YMCA was a very important part of that day, because they had probably 5 volunteers that came and were showing and displaying classes that they have offered at the YMCA here in Katanning. So we also had some weight training, some different competitions that you could have in the sports world, and it was just a really nice thing to see, because you saw the families all engaging in these activities together. They were out there on the exercise balls going through a 10-minute workout. They were doing weight training with little weights, 10 minutes long. Everything was 10 minutes. So the workouts that they went through were 10 minutes. And for every activity that they participated in, they got we called it a ticket to a healthier lifestyle. And they got to enter it in for fun prizes.
It was a wonderful event. There were lots of people there. And there were, it was like lots of energy and lots of activity. And we had also, in addition to all the things that Devin talked about, there was a cooking demonstration and a taste testing of healthy food. And we had a got milk stand. And there were games for little kids, like carnival games for kids under 6. It was just a fabulous event. And we hope to do that every year and for it to get bigger and better.
Well, that reminds me, I have to work on my core muscles after
Oh,
we
yeah,
finish today,
well.
so I'm going to be using the exercise ball if I don't hurt myself. And I would like to thank you, Devin, for sharing those pictures that we just saw
Sure.
in the slideshow. Now, Kay, you mentioned Congresswoman Kathy Dahlkemper of Erie
Right.
with that federal legislation, the Healthy Communities Act. She gave us a major boost of support earlier this summer, maybe it was June, and she came down for some sort of a special event. Can you explain what that was?
Well, actually, it was in August, and
okay.
she came down and did, as part of her promotion of fitness for her congressional district, she came to Armstrong County and did a bike or hike along the Armstrong Trail. And we hosted it up at the Bernard Snyder Park up by Buttermilk Falls. So there were people there who rode their bikes along with the Congresswoman, and then afterwards she answered questions about any legislative topic, and of course a lot of the questions were about health care reform. But we had a good turnout and a lively debate, you know, a question and answer period with her. It was great.
As we think about the positive benefits of exercise, releasing endorphins,
Yeah.
making you feel more positive mentally, maybe that is a good approach for a congressperson to have their constituents exercise first, ask questions later. Better
right.
frame of mind,
Make
maybe?
people happy.
Well, that's tremendous. Now, how important is it to have support from legislative, corporate, and community leaders? What are some other ones who have helped Healthy Armstrong become the organization that it is?
Well, we have 5 major partners. The partners are the Armstrong County Memorial Hospital and the Hospital Foundation. Of course, Armstrong School District, which they have been a fabulous partner. And actually, Devin and I have gone to different school districts and talked about what Armstrong School District has done. And the other school districts are just in awe of what has been accomplished here. Other partners are the Community Pediatrics Group, the County of Armstrong, and UPMC Health Plan. So all of those partners contribute finances and resources to help Healthy Armstrong. And there are some business groups too who have made contributions, you know, to the effort.
Very good. Well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more Education Today, where we talk about Healthy Armstrong. Stick around.
Before I came to IUP, I had no idea what college would be like or what role I would play or where I'd be in the future. But when I came to IUP, everything changed. I met people who really made me feel like I belonged. I had great classes at a great nationally ranked university. Hi, my name is Megan Miller. I'm a fine arts major, and this is my university.
We're back with Armstrong School District's Education Today. We're talking about Healthy Armstrong. And we're here with Kay Owen and Devin Lorgan. For a truly healthy community, behavioral and lifestyle changes are required. What are some of the challenges that people come up against when they're trying to make lifestyle changes for the better?
I think access, places to go. I also think that the expense. I think eating healthier is a more expensive way to live nowadays, and I think that has a large part in the obesity issue.
And I think one of the other things that we're facing is, you know, fast food is a strong part of people's lives, busy lives these days. And so we're up against the powerful marketing giants who promote fast food. And so, yeah, we're trying to make population level changes here. We're trying to change people's mindset to make people think that health and wellness, you know, is.
It is. Now, when people face these challenges, is there any, can you think of any advice we can help them to succeed against these challenges? The cost, that's a hard one to beat. Access to health facilities, to do exercise. Are there any creative solutions that
I think what we're really trying to do is give people the opportunities. I think we're trying to make it more available for them to participate in activities as a family, because you don't have a place to take your kids, so you take them with you. So why not do something active while you're together? And I think we're just trying to make it part of their lives, that every day they're doing active things together. And our healthy recipe displays in the grocery stores. I said, there's so many times I go to the grocery store and I'm thinking, what am I going to have for dinner? Well, having a recipe there that has healthy ingredients in it is a perfect way to get families that are just like me, just trying to grab something quick, able to get something that's going to be healthy for their families to eat that evening.
It's an effort to kind of work in wellness around the edges of free time almost.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, and on our website, we have healthy recipes, and I think the other thing we should emphasize is there's a lot of things that people can do health-wise that don't really cost anything. All you have to do is walk. Just get outside and walk. And we have wonderful resources in the Rails to Trails around here. A lot of communities are not blessed like we are to have that. So really, all you have to do is start walking, get outside and walk.
Fall's a great time to do it, too.
It is. It's a beautiful time of the year.
That's right. What health problems do we see medically with regards to childhood obesity? What are we starting to see now that we didn't see years ago come up with children?
Well, I think there's blood pressure problems, there's diabetes, and I was speaking to somebody who is in the durable medical goods business, providing medical equipment. And he said there's a whole new line of equipment now for children who have sleep apnea, meaning that they're too heavy and when they sleep at night they have a hard time breathing, that there's this whole new line of equipment that is just booming. So that's an issue.
Well, what sort of data do we have on how big a problem this is in Armstrong County?
Well, we definitely have our BMIs from the schools, and I think that's what was so scary, is that the kids were coming to us a few years ago in kindergarten and were below average in their body mass index. And by the time they were reaching 3rd and 6th grade, they were way above. So our children who were smaller were now becoming, obese or almost obese. They were in that area where they need to really watch. So we just, we really need to take a look at those things and see what we can do and what the reason is that kids are this way now.
And I want to emphasize that this isn't just an Armstrong School District issue.
Oh,
this
right.
is
Society.
It's a societal issue. But what's really good about it is that Armstrong County and Armstrong School District have taken a incredible proactive approach and are way ahead of what most areas are doing in terms of tackling this issue. And I think the county and the school district should be commended for that.
Thank you very much. Now, Devin, as you well know and you constantly speak to in your role as a physical education teacher, physical activity is a major guardian against childhood obesity. Do you have any ideas on why physical activity seems to be harder to come by for today's children and families? You sort of touched on that a little bit ago.
I did, and I think time. I don't know that families have the time right now. I think everybody's so busy, everybody's, they have jobs, they're working, they're trying to get things done. I think it's hard to squeeze in time for activity. And I think, playing outside isn't always an option depending on where you live. So I think the space, I think that, if you can't go outside and play, parents don't want you running around inside, so you're kind of just sitting then. You're doing those sedentary activities instead of the active ones. So I really think that, if families could go together and find the places, and that's why we're doing all these activities, because we're trying to give them a place to have this activity together, give them this time. Even if it's, the recommendation's only 30 minutes a day, and we can squeeze in 30 minutes a day. You can try and find it.
Not all at once necessarily? Or?
Not all at once necessarily. If you have 10 minutes here that you can go and do something together, or 10 minutes there, and, just get out and move when you can.
I have to make a confession that sometimes during my lunch break at work, of course, I serve the residents of Armstrong School District busily, day in and day out from my office in the Armstrong School District Administration Building. But at lunch break, I take a walk, and when the weather's not nice, you can hear my footsteps running up and down the steps in the back hallway. It's sometimes a little distracting to the people in the boardroom, but that's my small way of trying to squeeze it in, because I sure don't have an hour or a half hour a day block of time. 3 boys, you know, family.
It's busy.
So.
Well, that's an excellent example, you know, of how you can be creative and fit physical activity, you know, into a busy lifestyle.
Yeah, people say, you know, if you're going to Walmart, people try to get the closest spot, right? You drive up and down the aisles and you're looking for that close spot, closest to the doors. You know, park further away. That's 5 minutes extra that you're walking that you might not have had you found that really close spot that you were looking for. As long as I'm close to the buggy thing, I have 3 girls. As long as I'm close to where I can park a buggy and my car's right there, I'll park in the furthest one away. But you know, those little things. You're talking on the telephone. Walk around while you talk. Everybody has portable phones now. So walk around. And if you don't have a portable phone, you know, walk in place while you're talking. Why just sit there? You can do 2 things at one time.
I have seen little portable bicycle pedals that can be seated under an office chair to kind of keep moving, you know, while you're typing.
I've not seen that. That's a very
saw it in the
interesting
catalog,
idea.
yes.
Yeah.
I know you're both passionate advocates for wellness. What sorts of lessons about physical activity do you share with your students in classes? How do you communicate that to kids who, you know, don't know about BMI, and those aren't the terms they talk in?
We don't. You know, in physical education class especially, we focus a lot on the different types of fitness tests that they can have, and we're looking at progressions. So at the beginning of the year, you know, we're teaching them how to do a sit-up, things that they can do at home, sit-ups, push-ups, you know, running, walking, jump roping, things that are inexpensive that they can perform in their own house. And then we even go so far as to test them to see how many they're doing at the beginning of the year. We tell the kids, you know, work really hard at getting this number up for the end of the year. And then you test them again at the end of the year, and you're looking to see what progressions are the kids making. And they're looking to see, oh my, you know, some of them might have done less at the end of the year. And they're thinking, what could I have done to make that number better? So I think, and as they go through the years, I think in physical education class, they find that, you know, if you work harder here and then you take it home and do some things at home, that you're going to do better at the end of the year also.
That is a very age-appropriate way to make it interesting for them.
Yeah, kids like visual things. They like to see what it is that they're doing. If the kids aren't seeing any progression or aren't understanding what it is that they're doing better in, then they don't really have any reason to try hard.
What are some of the other physical education teachers doing across Armstrong School District along those lines? Any other innovative approaches?
I think a lot of us do it pretty much the same way. I think we also do a lot of activities with the students when they're not with us. Like we have, some schools have organized recess in the elementary schools. So while they're at recess, they're also going to take a walk, or they're doing organized activities that are going to get their heart rates up. We also have, like, Project ACEs is an activity that all the children participate in April. It means all children exercise simultaneously, and it is a nationwide event that we have sort of adopted in our district, and we all take part in that. And I know in my building, we kind of have a Project ACEs day every month. So we take a wellness walk. We walk for 40 minutes. It's 1 mile, and the whole school, we just trail. We're like a really, really long train. And we go up and around our property, and we walk around, and the teachers love it. The kids love it because they're getting out. The teachers love it because the kids are getting out and moving a little bit on top of what they do on a regular daily basis. So it's good behaviorally, academically. It's good for everybody.
I've heard some information about ballroom dancing at Katanning Senior High School. And
Yes, some of our high schools are doing really cool things too. Katanning High School last year approached me about the possibility of getting a ballroom dancer instructor in right before the prom. And it was very cool. She invited me down, and there were kids that were signing out of every class they possibly could to come down and take part in more activity with this ballroom dancing. And they were sweating when they were done, and they had a blast while they were doing it. You know, Katanning High School also had a pedometer thing where the 10,000 step challenge is a very popular thing that a lot of workplaces and places used to get their faculty members moving. And it's not only for adults. The high school kids used it very nicely, and they kind of competed to see who could get the most steps in a week. And it's a neat way of making kids aware of how much they're actually moving. Because if you get that 10,000 steps in a day, that's your recommended activity every day. So if you're going above and beyond that, you know that you're burning more calories than you're probably taking in. So it's a positive thing.
And I believe Ford City High School and other schools have made use of the Armstrong Trail.
They
during
have.
gym class.
Oh, yes. And I think the Ford City Trail has a fit trail now. And I know that the phys ed teacher there has been talking about how neat it is that the kids are working their way up the trail and doing all those different types of activities. And, you know, all of the schools are doing some really neat things. They adapt it to their kids that they have. You know, they're doing taste testing, and I know West Shamokin did tasting or eating of the greens, they called it last year, with it was in let me think, March, around St. Patrick's Day, and they had taste testing of green fruits and vegetables. And, you know, just making things accessible, getting kids to try things they might not have ever tried before. Everybody's doing such a nice job, all of the teachers and all of the facilitators, at getting their schools active and thinking about things that they might not have thought about a few years ago.
Earlier in the program, one of you mentioned the Healthy Recipe of the Week effort. Would you please explain its basic premise and how people can participate in it? Where can they find the Healthy Recipe of the Week?
Well, Healthy Recipe of the Week is we have different grocery stores in the area who have healthy recipes, and then they display the contents of the recipes. And then the Leader Times, our local newspaper, also publishes the same recipe on a weekly basis. So, and our website, which is www.healthyarmstrong.com, also has the healthy recipes on it.
Yeah, it's just easy and convenient. It's just such a neat way of kind of getting it out there to the whole community, because everybody has to get food somewhere. So we've tried to put the displays in places that, you know, we can reach everybody.
Well, that's our show for today. I'd like to thank our guests Kay Owen and Devin Lorigan for giving of their busy schedules to promote this important message. Our thanks also go out to the TV production students of Ford City High School, led by their teacher, Mrs. Barb Keller. They were our film crew today. Please join us again next week for another look at the Armstrong School District. Visit our website for updated information, and have a great week.